Hey everybody, it's Patrick Britson. Here's your SAC Daily Dose for Friday, October 19, 2018. Hope everyone has had a great week so far. Before we get into the news, let me just remind you about our partnership with Geico. Fans take a shot at savings and switch to Geico. SAC alumni could save on car insurance with a special discount. Visit geico.com/mydiscount for a free quote today. You can also find that link on our website at thesac.com. Pretty slow news week so far, just a lot of results, and we did have the first NCAA rankings in both men's and women's soccer. And just as a reminder, the NCAA regional rankings are the ones that matter. The coaches poll rankings, while they're nice and something to talk about, pardon my French here, don't mean a hill of beans when it comes to the selections for the NCAA tournament. These NCAA regional rankings are what matters, and they released them for the first time earlier this week. And on the women's side, we had two teams ranked. We had Carson Newman, defending conference champion Carson Newman, and at number 6, and Catawba at number 8. So pretty good showing for us there. We've kind of beaten each other up on the women's side this year, so we don't have as high ranking as we would normally have, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks that will change. But Carson Newman at 6 and Catawba at 8 checking in. And this weekend, we have some pretty big games on the women's soccer side. Carson Newman will travel to Wingate tomorrow, and Catawba will host Anderson. And that's a big game because Anderson is currently sitting at third in the standings, and Catawba is 4th. So that's a pretty big game from a standing standpoint, and could have a big implication on who hosts a quarterfinal matchup as well. So look out for those two games this weekend. On the men's side, we had 4 teams ranked in the top, top 8 or 10? Top 8. We had Lenore-Rhine checks in at number 4, Carson Newman at number 5, Queens at number 6, and LMU rounds out the top 8 at number 8. And again, we've got some big games this weekend. LR ventures out of the conference tomorrow and will go play at Belmont Abbey. Again, on the same as the women, on the men's side, Carson Newman travels to Wingate. And then Queens hosts Newberry, and then Coker will visit LMU. So some games there involving our top teams. Now, on the standing side of things, Queens, LMU, Tusculum, and Wingate are all 3 points apart when you go 2 through 5. And then Carson Newman, one of our ranked teams, is not even in the top 5 on our current table. They are 6, but a win this weekend over Wingate could catapult them potentially into 3rd or even 4th. So big jumble there with the standings, but everyone has 2 or 3 games left to play. So hopefully things will flush themselves out, but a very tight race on the men's side right now for soccer. Moving on to football, Lenore-Rhine, who is checked in at number 26 in the coaches poll, and we were a couple of weeks away from the first NCAA rankings on the football side of things. But Lenore-Rhine, who is currently 5-0 in our conference, and then Carson Newman, who's 4-1, both of them have non-conference games this weekend. The big conference game is between Tusculum and Catawba. Tusculum, who's quietly 3-1 in the league and currently sits 3rd in the standings, travels to Catawba. And even though Catawba is 0-3 in the league, we all know Catawba's history and the fact that they've got a very good team. So that's a big game for Tusculum to remain in the running for a conference title. So as I mentioned, both LR and Carson Newman, who sit atop the league, are playing out of conference this weekend. Women's volleyball, some big games this weekend as well, and I know we mentioned it earlier in the week, but Wingate remains the only undefeated team in Division II and still not ranked. Unbelievable to me, but control the things you can control, right? So they play Carson Newman tonight. Big game. Carson Newman defending tournament champions from last year and currently sitting 5th in the standings. Carson Newman travels to Wingate this evening. Also this evening, Anderson, who sits in 2nd in the standings, goes to Tusculum, and then Anderson turns around and plays LMU, who's 3rd in the standings tomorrow. So big weekend for Anderson as well. And then the other big game this weekend is Lenore Ryan travels to Queens, and both of them are sitting just outside the top four from a hosting quarterfinal standpoint. Now, we've got an extra week there in the volleyball season, so a lot more volleyball to be played, but still it's tight in the standings, especially when you get through like 3rd through 6th, 7th there. It's pretty tight. So go on out and watch all those exciting soccer, football, volleyball matches. Also this weekend, cross country will run its final quote-unquote regular season meets of the weekend. They'll take next weekend off, and then our conference championship is November 3rd. So some final tune-up meets for our cross-country teams this weekend as well. Now to our favorite part of the show, the famous sports quote. And with Notre Dame football having an exceptional year so far, I thought it would be appropriate to get one from Lou Holtz, who won Notre Dame's last national championship in 1988 as the head coach. But this one is applicable to everything, not just sports. Without self-discipline, success is impossible, period. And that definitely holds true with anything in life, not just sports. So that's going to do it for me today, folks. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe, share this video, get us out there. Let's get more people watching this to promote the SAC and our student athletes. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday for the next installment of the SAC Daily Dose.